Hi students, in this video we would like to learn what are the data types available in Java and how they are declaring and using data types, and followed by conditional statements, then followed by control statements. What are the control statements? Then how you are declaring the arrays and the strings. This all will be seen now in this video. So first we will start our section with the data types. So data types are 8 data types are available in Java. What do they mean? The first one is byte, is the one data type, then followed by short, then int and long. All these are integer data type, then followed by, so float is the another one, and double is the another data type, double data type, then character data type, character followed by one more is a boolean. Now all these are 8 available data types are there in Java. You can declare a variable of any data type. When you go for byte, how to declare? Now I can go for the declaration of byte. Some b or b1 comma b2 are the variables of the byte data type. The short data type, it will be s1 and s2 are the, and maybe so on, s3 are the 3 byte data type variables. And for integer one, we can go for int a comma b comma c comma or I comma j comma k. These are the syntaxes we have to use. And for long data type, we are using long followed by L1 comma and L2. So now after seeing these many examples, what is the syntax of declaration of a data type or a variable in Java? First we go for what is the definition of a variable, then we coming to the syntax. Variable, what is a variable? A name given to an identifier, a name given to an identifier, a name given to an identifier where its value can be modified or changed throughout the program. Variable means where is the value. So first we go for the syntax. Next one we go for syntax. What is the syntax of this one? So data type followed by variable name. This is a single variable name. So we can go for multiple declarations of variables. We can go for data type followed by variable name, one comma, followed by similarly variable name 2 comma, variable name 2, so on. Like that we can go for number of variables, and number of variables we can declare here. All these are belongs to the same data type. Now these are all examples of your data type. We can go for another examples. So followed by, according to syntax, I am writing here. So int a is the one integer variable. I can go for int I comma j comma. So here I can go for a single declaration. This is the statement of single variable, and this is the statement of multiple variables. So now when you declare as a these data type from here to here, the value will be only the integer. That means 10 or minus 10 or maybe minus 100. Now a rounded value will given to the any one of these variables. So byte is the shortest, the smallest value will be taken. So it may be 1 byte, it may be a word or 1 byte. Short will be the 1 byte, and integer will be takes 32 bits or 4 bytes. So let us go for some version of Java. Byte takes 1 byte, the short takes 2 bytes, the integer takes 4 bytes, and long take 8 bytes of memory. So to store a value. So according to the value, we can decide that byte will be takes plus minus 128 to plus 127. Short will be having minus 32,762 plus 32,768. Like that, ranges will be differ from one to the other. Now, when we go for the float data types, where we can go for to maintain the floating value or a real value. So 7.6 minus 77.63. To work with this type of values, you have to declare the variable as a float data type. So whenever you want the program in terms of this one, we can go for the type of values. So here I can go for the examples followed by the syntaxes, where you can go for float. X is the one variable of float data type, where it can be take the float value or a real value. So double data type, I'm using another one called R1, R and P and comma Q. So this will be there. Now from coming to the character, to store a single character, we use this type of data. We use this data type. We use char data type. What is meant by character? Here, a character can be a character can be a character can be a character can be a letter. It may be small case or uppercase. A letter of small case or uppercase, it is the one character. So now we can go for a character can be a digit from 0 to 9. Character can be a digit from 0 to 9, and followed by the any symbols. It will be treated as a character. Like this type of symbols can be given to a variable. So these are called special symbols, can be used to assign a character data type. Now how to declare SR, we can go for. So char followed by some variable A. A is the character data variable. It can store any above the characters. Now the A value can be get with this type of values. Now A value can be get. Now here is their character can be get from this type of set. This is called the character set. Next one, the Boolean data type. It is the another data type will be there in Java, where the Boolean data type leads the value will be either true or false. If you go for a B is a variable, now here B can be assigned as a true or false. So the true or the false values will be given to a B variable. Now all these things, when you go for the data types will be takes place inside the class and inside the methods. So the variable declaration can be done at two places. One is called inside the class. So the variable declaration, a very important point, a variable declarations can be done at either who can go for not either, can be done at inside the class. Inside the class means outside of a method. Inside the class means outside of a method. Followed by we can go for a variable declaration can be takes place, can be done at inside the method. Inside the methods. So when we declare the inside the method, then variables are called local variables. So whenever we go for say local variable is there, local variables. What means local variables? The variables declared inside the block. Inside the block are called local variables. Now the scope of this variable will be there till the ending of the block. So till the ending of the block, the scope will be there. Now scope of a local variable, scope or lifetime of the variables will be there till end of the block. So till end of the block. I can give an example, then you can understand what's mean by local. Now here void m1 is the one. So when you declare the formal arguments, these ABs are local to the m1 method, and also so I can declare int c, so or any other variable double b. So these are double sum d, and these are called local variables. It can be accessed through up to this one. Now A is a local variable and B is the local variable. A is the local variable, A is the local variable, B is the local variable, C is the local variable, and D is the local variable of which method. All these are locals to M1. So it can be used only within the block. After block, they cannot be accessed. After block, these cannot be accessed. So after block, the local variables cannot be accessed. Such variables are called local variables. When we declare the variables inside the block, it may be an A. So if I go for if block is there, so whatever may be the expression inside, so it will be takes place and a 1 1. Now if you declared a variable inside the here if block, it can be only valid till the if block closes. It cannot be accessed even in else block. In the else block, I can, if you want to use, I can go for, so I can declare one more variable. Now here you have to understand that A is local to if block. After if block, it cannot be accessed. B is a local to else block. It cannot be accessed outside of this block. Block means this is the open and curly braces. You can declare the variable at anywhere as you like, as you needed. You can declare in the first statement, you can declare in the middle statement, you can declare that last, but it can be accessed outside of this block. A block can be, if you go for a block can be a if block, a block can be else block, while block, for block, do block, switch block, and maybe an instant block, maybe an static block. All these blocks, when you declare the variables inside this one, are said to be a local variables. That's the point you have to know. And coming to this one more point, local variables does not have default values. Local variables does not have any default values. That means the local variable needs a value before using them. If you go for an example, inside the method is a m1 method I am declaring, and then saying that int a comma b comma c. If you write an expression without assignment of values, c is equal to a plus b, here it will show an error, because without knowing the value of a, without knowing the value of b, it cannot compute the c value and produces an error. It requires a value. So the local variables always needs a value before accessing them. Next one. When you go for this one, next followed by inside the class. It may be when you variables inside the class, variables declaration inside the class and outside of a method, inside the class and similarly outside of a method. How it will be take place? Now I can go for example. Let us go for class apple is there. So in this apple class, I am writing the instance, the variables like here. So int a is the one variable, double b is the another variable, and I can go for boolean followed by some b variable. So all these are instant variables. It can access throughout the class. So if you take for void m1, we can access here inside the m1 method, and we can access them inside the other method. So it can be valid for using anywhere in the class. So sometimes it can be accessible outside of the class by using an object. If we create an object of apple class, now according to that object, the a value and d value and b value will be taking accessibility from outside of the class through reference variable that is called an object. Now, whenever there is no value for the class instance variables, then it is called, then they have default values. So instance variables, without these variables are called as a non-static members or instance members. These are when you declare the variables inside the method, inside the class and outside of a method, then it is called, then the variables are called instance variables. Instance variables are non-static variables. Instant variables are non-static. What's mean by non-static? We can learn within a few minutes. Non-static members are non-static variables. Whatever may be the thing, it is not the matter. Now here a is the instant variable. Now here the case a is the instant variable and d is the instant variable, b is the instant variable. So instant variables have default values. Another important point you have to write down that instance variables instant variables have default values. Default values. What are the default values? For integer set, that means for integer set means for a byte or a short or a int or a float or a long, the default value will be 0. The default value is 0. The default value is how much? 0. Similarly, for a real set means for a two things. One is we are having float data type followed by the double data type. So the default value is how much means the default value is 0.0. Similarly, for Boolean variable or Boolean member, anything Boolean member, the default value is false. The default value is false. And for character member, default value is a single space. Now these are the things you have to understand, that how will be the default for one more. Now the other important, very very important, for every object the instance variables takes, the instance member takes separate memory location. It does not same for all the objects. We can understand this one by writing a program. Now I am writing a program by taking the new file. So here to print the default values of each and every data type. Now I am writing a class called, inside the class I am writing instance PR is the program name, class name. Here I am declaring int a and followed by the double B and followed by the character C and followed by the boolean. So boolean some BF followed by the BF is the boolean data type variable. So these are the, I am printing inside this one. The default value is the default value of integer. Integer is, I can go for plus which variable? A variable. Now be sure that how to create an object of instant PR to access A, because these are the instant area, we are in the static area, we should create an object of for that one. I can go for object creation, instance PR, some object OB is equals to new instance. Otherwise, it cannot be accessible. New instance PR, and A can be accessed through OB.A. Similarly, I would like to print all the members. So the real numbers followed by the character and boolean, the default value of double, the default value of real or double. So we can printing OB.B followed by the character. It may be a single space. Character will have a single space of default character. Finally, we are having the boolean. So boolean OB.C for character, OB.BF for boolean. Now when you execute the program, obviously we are getting the default values. I intimated that for integer data type it is a 0, for float, for real data type it is 0.0, for character single space, and for boolean it may be a false. That is for trying to execute the program. Here I am creating an object of BF. I am the object, OB is the object. I am saving the file in my working directory. I am saving the file by giving the instance pr.java, which is an extension of that one. Now I am executing this one, javac followed by the compiler command. At the time of compilation, we have to give javac followed by instance pr.java. It will be any errors we will see. If it is errors, we can go. If there is no errors, and we can execute by giving the javac followed by the main method class name. Now it is creating the default value. I intimated that when you see the screen, the default value of integer is I am placing here for all these requirements. Now we can observe that the default values, I am sharing the screen. So the default value of integer is 0, and the default value of float is 0.0. For character single space, here a single space will be take place. For boolean it is a false. Whenever these are local, sir, can you run this program by taking, whenever these are local, so without value to this one, when you declare the members inside the method are called local variables. Now I am changing it as a local. Local, it in the main memory, we can access the members directly, no need of an object. Now it will show us an error because without value for A, B, C, B, F. Now if you want to print them, it will raise as an error. Now I can save the program by giving the local member. Local mem is the class name, and I am saving the program with the same name, local m. So followed by the extension .java. Now when you run the program at the time of compilation, it produces lot of errors since we need a requirement value. We need a value for this one. So compilation starts. So the class name is local mem. So followed by .java extension. Now it will show why all these errors are coming. So what is the error? Now variable might have initialized. So it is giving a message that, dear programmer, so the A is a local variable which needs a value. So to overcome this error or to ignore the error, we have to provide a value for the variable through initialization or through assigning. I am initializing. What do you mean initialization? At the time of declaration, substituting a value or assigning a value at the variable is called initialization. Except in declaration part, assigning the value is called, giving the value to a variable is called assigning. I am clear that. So in this program I am writing, what is meant by initialization, what is meant by assigning. Now we have to understand what's meant by initialization. What's meant by initialization? What's meant by initialization? Simple thing. So giving a value, simple terms, giving a value to the variable at the declaration part. At the declaration part is called initialization. Can you give the example, sir? Yes, int a equal to 10. I am giving a value when it is declaration. Then the other process will be there, assigning. What's meant by assigning here? Except in declaration part, giving a value to the variable. Is called assigning. What is given examples are int b. I am not giving a value at the time of declaration. Later on I can give b is equal to 10 or b is equal to b plus 10. All these are, if you give for a method, b is equal to some object dot. So followed by the method name. Now the return value of this one also goes to the b variable, and all these are called assignings. Coming to our local one, to escape this error, we have to provide a value like this. So I can assign some A is the character data type. I can assign A and BF is equals to true, either true or false, only true values to be assigned. And it can be, now the program again saved. Now there is no error. Previously we are having error since the program does not have the values. Now there is no error because we are giving the values to the local members. The point is clear. The instance variables have default values, but the local variable does not have default values. And I previously mentioned that these are called non-static. For every object, the instance member takes separate memory location. Then one more members will be there that are called static members. The variables which are declared, which are declared inside the class, and outside of a outside of a method. outside of a method with the static keyword. That is the point. With which keyword? Static keyword. Then it is called static members. Then it is called static members. Point is very clear, sir. Now here, static variables also have default values. Static variables have default values. Static variables have default values like the instance members. And here, for all objects, that is the point. For all objects, for all objects, for all objects, for all objects, the static members take same memory location. The static members take same memory location. Same memory location. And when you modified through one object, when static member is modified with one, is modified with one object, then it reflects to all objects. It reflects to all objects. I can give an example, don't worry. So here I am declaring in a one called class. So class test is there. Now I can go for simple fashion. I can give static int a. So these are the having static one. Now I am creating the main method. So public static void main. Main method is as a static member. So string followed by arguments. Requirement is there. Now I am creating several objects. Test T1 is equals to new test. Followed by I am creating one more object. The object name is T2. The object name is T2. So whenever you are using, so I am T1 dot A is equal to, I am giving 100. Now I would like to change the value. T dot A is equals to 1000. Now the value is modified with respect to T2 object. Now after that one, so I would like to know the system.out.println to know the value of A with respect to T1 object. The value of A with respect to which object? T1 object. With respect to T1 object. And one more, the static members can be called through class name also. It can be accessed through class name. I can intimate it the later. Within a few seconds we can go for. So T1 dot A. So with respect to T1 object, similarly, the value of T2 object, the value of A with respect to T1 object and T2 object. Let us go for a small execution of this program. It is very clear that the static members take same memory location. If value is modified by any one of the object, it can be reflected to all objects. I can go for static member is the one program. Static mem. Now I have to save the program with the same name. The program name is I am saving with a name called staticmem.java. Now the program is there. Staticmem.java. So program is going to be saving. Now ready for execution. So make a close look at what will happen with respect to T1. What are the values? So compilation starts by giving the Java C, followed by static static mem.java. Now it will be, lot of errors will be there. Now there is no test class. The class will be modified. The class is modified, not a test. It is the static member. It is the static mem. So I have to create an object followed by class name. Object name is equal to new class name. So again, I have to save the file, and now I am giving again compilation. Oh, there is no errors. It's good. Now Java followed by static mem is the class name. Now it will have, sir. Now previously observe here, I noticed that for all objects, the static members take same memory location. In that memory location, with respect to T1 object, the value will be 100. It's fine and good. And now it is changing by the T2 object. What is the value now? Updated value is 1000. The same will be coming for with respect to T1. With respect to T2, the same value will be takes place. But in case of instance, the instance variable takes separate memory location for each object. But in a static, all the objects take same memory location. With one object, when you modify the value, it will reflect to the all objects. I can maintain these 2 points because these are the 2 important points you have to know. Now, you have to know, sir. So you have to know, again, I am taking instance members. Instance members takes different memory location, different memory location, different memory location, different memory location, different memory location for each and every object. For each and every object. For each and every object. The value will be differ from one object to another object. But coming to the static members, static members takes same memory location for all objects, for all objects. Now the point is very clear. Now you have to know what's meant by static member, what's meant by local variable, what's meant by the instance. So after seeing this video, you should be capable to define what's meant by local variables, what are instance, or maybe another name for instance members, or it can be also called as non-static. What's meant by non-static members, and you should be capable to learn what's meant by static members. When you go for this one, now we can go for, it is the time to know that there are types of methods. In Java, there are 2 types of methods. One is called static method, another one is called instance method. The static, first we will go for instance, then coming to the static. Instance method followed by the second one is static method. Now, instance method, what's meant by instance method? Yes, it's the time to learn. So instance methods, without any static keyword, the methods are called instance or non-static methods. One more point. Inside the one class, the instance members can be called directly. Directly. Don't worry, see this program, we can go for how it is calling. I am creating class Apple. So Apple having one member or 2 members. Don't worry, I can go for 2 members. Int A comma double B are the 2 members, and I am writing here void M1 method, and I am using the A and B value directly, where I can go for passing A is equals to 10 and followed by B is equals to 3.4. And similarly, void M2 is there, another method. Now I can change the A value here. A is equals to 100 and B is equal to 4.5. So the instance members, we are in the instance area, within the same class. Again, I am repeating the point. Inside the one class, the instance members can be accessed directly inside the one class. We are having inside the one class, the instance members are there. A and B are instance members. They can be accessed directly inside the instant area. Now the members are instance members. We are in the instance blocks. We are in the instance blocks. Okay, again, the point should be very, very, very understandable point here. Now these are called instance members. Now these are called instance members. These are called instance members. Point is clear. Now where we are in the instance area. We are in the instance area. We are in the instance area within the class, within the class. I'm speaking about within the class, instant area. So within the one class, I am speaking within the one class. The instance members can be accessible directly in instant area. It can be accessible directly in the instance area. No need of any object. No need of any object. Now, outside of a class, sir, I want to access this AB outside of this Apple class. How is the mechanism? Now, outside of a class, it should be possible to create an object. Let us go for that also explanation. Now here,